Hello and welcome to Whisky Resource. My name is Mark. This is review number 97 and today is a dram that has been kindly supplied by Leejay. Those of you who know Leejay know that he's around quite a bit on the whole whisky scene, on YouTube lives and on socials. So if you don't know Leejay, check out his details, he's down there in the description. So Leejay and I did a whisky exchange not long ago, swapped drams, and he was kind enough to supply this particular dram request to me, which is the Glendronach 15-year-old Revival. It's the 2019 bottle that he purchased. So I've already poured the sample. It's been sitting in my glass a little while, whilst it just opens up. Being a 15-year-old, needs that little extra time. So Glendronach, they call themselves a Highland distillery. It's located just to the east of Speyside. They were actually mothballed in 1996 by the then owners, but then 2002 reopened. The 2015, which is the 15-year-old, which I'm going to review in today, was discontinued in 2015. That was due to stock shortages. They just didn't have enough of that aged whisky to go around to keep providing the 15-year-old. However, that changed in late 2018. I think it was September of 2018. It became a distillery exclusive. You could buy in the distillery, and then later that year it became available at various retailers, and it's endured ever since. And it's quite a popular whisky. The Glendronach range, which I've only reviewed the 12-year-old, is proven to be a hit with a lot of people, and I hear it talked about quite a lot. So I've been eager to get my hands on this particular whisky. So thank you to Leejay for sending it to me. So what do we know about the Glendronach 15-year-old? Well, it's bottled at 46% ABV. It is non-chill filtered and it is natural colour. It is completely matured in two types of sherry casks. You've got Pedro Jimenez and you've got Oloroso casks. From the, I want to say it's the Andalusia region of Spain, but I may be wrong with that one. It's called Revival because obviously it stopped production in 2015, started again in 2018. In terms of price, well, you can pick it up in loads of places online. I'm going to give you some prices. This is something I'm going to try and do, is actually share you with the prices that I've found, which gives us the average score. So the price differential is only a couple of pounds either way. But you can pick up the Whisky Exchange for £63.95, Master of Malt for £61.95, House of Malt for £63.99, and Robbie's Whisky Merchants for £61.99. That gives us an average of £92.97, which isn't too bad, I suppose, for a 15-year-old. I haven't reviewed many 15-year-olds so far. Core range whiskies, that 15-year-old. I think the last one I did would have been the Glenfiddich 15, which retails for anywhere around £40. So this is a bit more expensive. However, I'm not going to say what the value score is. Check my write-up review down in the comments there in the description. You can take a link to the Whisky Resource website where you can see my write-up of this review, and on that page you will see how it scores as a value score out of 100. So we'll let you see that. Nothing much more to say about this particular whisky other than I'm looking forward to it. I've anticipated this one for a while, so we'll just get straight into it on the nose. So it's coming across sherry intense, those rich dark fruits, bit musty sweated fruits that have been starting to I don't know what's the word, break down a bit. It's a strong fruity nose, quite dry, not as sweet as maybe I was expecting. There's vanilla certainly going on there, and there's oak. The vanilla and oak is reminiscent of what you'd find in a bourbon. Of course this is wholly sherry matured, but I'm getting those accents from this. It is a little sweet, but there's no particular discerning sweetness, a note of sweetness coming from it that I can identify. It's just fruit sweet. I'm getting some herbal notes on there. A tiny bit of grassiness, vegetal, I suppose. And spices, like Christmas spices, nutmeg, maybe some ginger, some cinnamon. This is a nice nose. These are the kind of noses I just love and just sit and play with, because they're just very expressive. I would probably sit with this for another 5-10 minutes just nosing it before I'd even taste it. And then after the first little sip, I'd put the glass down and come back to it. But this is wonderful. This is a really nice nose. This. Put on the palate. Cheers, Leejay. Mm-hmm. Wow. So, the texture. It's oily. It's syrupy. It's totally mouth coating. It starts with this blast of dark fruitcake and spice. There's cherry, there's orange peel, there's ginger. There's definitely ginger there. Dark chocolate. There's bitterness of dark chocolate there. There's brown sugar. I can't say what the brown sugar is, but there's definitely brown sugar in there. It's not like a light brown sugar. It's a specific type of sugar, but brown, dark. It's just wonderful, absolutely wonderful. It just takes you on this journey. I'm actually debating whether I want to put any water in this, because I don't really want to pour any more out, because I like to come back to it. And okay, this was a 50ml sample that Leejay sent me, and I've had maybe a quarter. And you know what, I'm going to put a drop of water in it, but I'm loath to. Personally, I wouldn't. I'd leave this exactly as it is. Whilst it may open up a bit more, I need to do this for you guys. When I compare it to other 15-year-old sherried whiskies I've had, and there's not that many, we'll compare it to maybe the Glendronach 15, which I haven't reviewed, I'm aware of. I prefer this, but this is more expensive. So what I'm going to have to do is sit down with this and a Glendronach 15 and do a nose comparison, and then do a taste comparison, and just see what we're getting, because I think the Glendronach edges it. So that's become more vegetal. There's brown sugar appeared on the nose, and it's sweeter. You know, if I didn't see any better, I'd have said that there was some bourbon influence going on here, and I know there isn't because it's wholly sherry matured, but I'm getting them wonderful notes that you would get on a bourbon. I think that just demonstrates how dense this particular dram is on the palate for one final time. Okay, so for me, I prefer without water. I think leaving it at the 46% is perfect. Adding that water, for me, it's killed some of those dense fruit flavours. It's still oily. It's got a little bit more bitter. That bitterness follows through right to the finish, which just goes on. And that's where you start to get more dark chocolate and spice. Ginger. That ginger just keeps building. Maybe a bit of touch of maybe mace. Touch of clove, possibly. But it just keeps going. This is a really nice bottle. The site price $62.97 average. It doesn't really drop much in price, I must admit. And if you are going to look for it with a discount, really you're looking at Masters of Malt for them to do a drop. But because this is it's kind of a the stock levels at Glendronach are still at a point where they can't really be whacking out loads of batches of this, so it's very controlled, and because of that controlled nature, I think you find it holds its price really well. So for that, you're probably rarely going to find it on discount. And if you do, as I say, Masters of Malt may well be the place to get the discounts. I would buy a bottle. I've got to hold judgment on that though until I've done a side by side with the Glenfarclas 15, which I do have a bottle of, which is cheaper than this, which is also 46%. Natural colour. Chill filtration? We don't know. Glenfarclas don't really say. We think it's heavily barrier filtered. This apparently is unchill filtered. So on paper, the Glendronach has it, except it has a more expensive price. This is a battle that is going to rage for a while. But right now, I will say yes, I will buy a bottle. And this is a really enjoyable 15-year-old, unadulterated sherry bomb. Cheers, Leejay. It's a cracking one. Laters.